Hi, my name is Daniel. I've been sitting here for about 5 minutes before I started recording, just trying to get comfortable. I am so not used to sitting in front of the camera, having people recognize me and being the center of attention. But, I'm an artist and I've been online for about a year and a half, almost 2 years on different social media platforms, and I've noticed that I think it's probably about time that people got to know who I am and who Dan Lev Art is. So, this is me. Um, so, most of my videos, I'm going to show you my drawing process, the images I come up with. Um, just let you see where the work comes from and how it comes together, and the different techniques, the different tools that I use. This is an iPad Pro with, of course, an Apple Pencil, and I'll try and show you my studio at some point. Right now, it's a little bit messy, um, but yeah, we'll hopefully get to know each other a little bit, and I'd like to hear from you. So whenever you see something you like, obviously like the video, subscribe, share, and leave some useful comments in the comment section are always appreciated. Any sort of constructive criticism. Of course, keeping in mind I'm still a person. I know that's a weird comment to say, but some of these comments sometimes I don't know what to do with them. Anyway, yeah, so this is going to be the first video where I'll show you how I draw and how I come up with the images that I put together. For the most part, it tends to be stream of consciousness, but it's also very much connected to the flow process and the just the creative process, letting it happen by itself without overthinking it. The drawings that I feel I'm overthinking are the ones that I tend to abandon because I just don't feel connection to them. But I never delete anything. I always keep everything I draw. So, of course, unless there's any kind of, crash or anything technically related, but personally, by choice, I don't delete anything. So that way, if I'm drawing something and I remember, hey, I drew something a few weeks ago that might fit nicely in here, then I'll pull it out of the treasure trove of files that I don't like and paste it in and make it part of the new image. So that way, nothing ever gets thrown out. And that's probably a little bit of the change from having drawn by hand. I started drawing in a sketchbook, and then I would transfer it onto, like, by scanning it or sketching it digitally. I would then convert the drawing into a digital. But this way, with the iPad Pro, and I do have a Wacom as well, that that process has become more direct, and I'm able to draw right into the file. And the nice thing about that too is basically the file size is the limit of my imagination. So I can do pretty much any size, or I can start at any size and make it any size I want afterwards. So what else? Yeah, so I'll start drawing things automatically. They'll come together into different shapes with no plan, no real sort of thought, or I don't really sort of sit down and map out the page. Like, I know some artists like to, space things out or lay out the landscape first. No, I'll just jump right in and I'll start with something. Sometimes if I get stuck, I'll just draw a shape in the middle of the page and just see where it goes. Yeah, I'll be curious to know what you guys think as far as what my style is, because I've posted some of my work. I've told you that I've posted my work on social media, and I've asked the question, what sort of, what artist style is this? And a lot of the times, I'll get a mixture of things from surreal to stream of consciousness or doodles, different things like that. And one of the most colorful descriptions I've had for my work has been Dr. Seuss on acid. So, I don't know. Take that, make whatever you think of that. I don't know. I'm curious to know what you guys think. Do please leave a comment below and let me know what your thoughts are once you see my work, what you think it would be categorized as. But I haven't been able to figure it out. And I don't really try and put too much thought into it. I just, I do my thing. I share my work as much as I can, and this is my first time sharing myself. So I'm opening this up for questions. Anything you're curious about, I'll try and include in my next video. Yeah, so let's jump right in. This is the first image that I had drawn after deciding to create this excuse me. This is the first image I created after deciding to make a YouTube video introducing myself as the artist behind the art that everybody has been seeing online. I'm just looking at my iPad here and I'm just trying to pull out an image so that I can show you. So the artist process, this is sort of like a little bit of what the image will look like at the end. Maybe I shouldn't show this, but you know what? I think the video is more about myself and the process than the image at the end. So, if you guys disagree, I'll be happy to hear. Please leave a comment below, and I will try to, change, improve. This is my first video on YouTube, so I hope you folks are patient and are able to, give me some useful advice, suggestions on how to improve things, how to improve my appearance in front of the camera. Any kind of useful comments like that, I really do appreciate your time. So I do hope you enjoy the process and the rest of this video. And at the end, when you have a chance, subscribe, like, share, and again, comment. Let me know what you think. I really would like to hear everything. I'd like to hear who you are, what your suggestions are, all that sort of stuff. That'd be great. Thanks, and I hope you enjoy. Yeah, so like I said, what happens is I'll start a drawing one way and I won't like the way it feels. I won't like it. It doesn't feel like it's the right image. And then in this particular case, I started fresh. So there's the new piece. And now you can see that I'm continuing, and as the piece goes along, it becomes something else. And eventually I'll duplicate something and make it look like it's part of a larger image. And there you go, it just continues, and I keep editing and recreating and changing until eventually it feels right and it just starts to come together. So you saw it jump there. So that jump is an old image that I decided I felt like it was supposed to fit here. So what I do is when there's an image that I start and I don't like the way it looks, I won't delete it. I'll just set it aside and see what happens as I draw something else. So sometimes I'll start the image, I'll start the main image, and then I'll go and try and do the background. So when you saw the blue, that was me adding different backgrounds to see what I liked, to see how it was going to look in the end. And here is me just starting to fill in with, just the main color, the shading, and eventually I start putting the shading all around. So you'll start seeing some of the green come in, some of the blues. But as I go, I shade as well as fill in the solid color, so that way the shading looks like it's consistent. and sometimes I'll put the lighter colors in too to make it look more solid, and then I'll blend them together with the smudge tool. So there you got the lighter, sort of almost orangey red blending into the pink, and then the pink suddenly becomes its own color, and then it fills in all the different spaces. And then you can see the shading going, because it's supposed to look like maybe it's behind this round circle. Yeah, so, you know, like I said, I keep drawing until something comes together. Even with the colors, I don't plan it. I don't expect the colors to come and go a certain way. They just happen on their own. And sometimes they'll happen like this. Other times they might go differently. You know, it just depends on what happens as I go along. I don't always even use the blending tool. Like up here, you'll see there's a bit more of a blend, so it'll look like there's more blending, and so that's generally because I did use the blending tool in that area. But I don't always do that. And things change as it goes. So yeah, I didn't like particularly the way it blended, so I came back again and filled it in with another color and blended over top. So you see it just keeps going, and the blends keep going until finally the shading goes, and you know, it looks more three-dimensional. And there's the yellow coming in, and then you'll see a dark yellow coming in on the sides like that. So that's me trying to be more three-dimensional with the shades. It just keeps going and building until finally all the parts come together. And really, like I said, from the very beginning, I don't know how this image is going to look at the end. So it just happens. So there it is. It just, you can see it gradually build. And again, it just happens by itself. It just keeps going, keeps on going. More and more colors, more vibrant, more, you know, sharp. Eventually, you'll start seeing it come together, and it tends to happen fairly quickly. Once I do the coloring in and the shading, everything else sort of starts to happen without, without much sort of planned. It just goes and goes, and there we go. It's almost there, and there you are. So if I show you, I'll show you this. So there it is. That's the outline. I'm just trying to make it a little bit more entertaining for you guys. Forgive me, it's taking a little bit too long. And there's the final image. And I always sign my name. There's my signature right there in the corner. I always sign my name, and it's not always in the same place. I've put it in many different places, and it's always different. It's always a different image. Different image, different background, different place to sign it. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to learning more from you and seeing what you guys think of my work. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing more of you and learning more from you. So thank you so much for everything.